The National Rifle Association will hold its annual meeting in Houston beginning on Friday. The convention will last through Sunday, and it is open to any of the NRA's 5 million members. Former President Donald Trump will speak at the event. Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Texas Senator Ted Cruz also scheduled to appear. Now, this, of course, comes just days after at least 21 people, including 19 children, were killed in a Texas elementary school in that shooting. And for more, I want to bring in Christian Heyne, who is a gun violence survivor, Vice President of Policy for Brady. Christian, first of all, thank you for being here. We know you and your family have been so deeply impacted by gun violence. So before we do anything, I just want to ask you how you're feeling this week as these events unfold in a very specific context for you.
Well, thank you so much for that. It frankly is devastating. The entire community of survivors is just dealing with the trauma of gun violence semi-constantly. And when events like this happen, to see the face of 19 elementary school students, we're at a place in America now where we have to differentiate between mass shootings that take place at an elementary school. I'm 5 days away from the 17-year anniversary of when my mother was killed with a single bullet to the back. And what do we have to show for it? I appreciate the question. We're just trying to get through it, and we're trying to make sure that our elected officials do what's right in this moment.
All right, so let's talk about the conference that is scheduled for this weekend. As we said in the intro, former President Trump, Greg Abbott, Ted Cruz, all scheduled to speak. Do you expect to hear anything that will indicate any change in context as far as their position? And I couldn't help but notice no guns are going to be allowed inside the speeches, which I guess suggests a safety issue.
I mean, it's a great point. Every year the NRA is holding these conventions where in a lot of ways the folks who are attending these conferences are more protected than the NRA has allowed us to feel in public, where they are moving bills like permitless carry across the country, including in states like Texas, where there is no screening requirements, there's no training requirements, there's no requirements whatsoever to carry a loaded weapon in public. To answer your question, I don't know if we are going to hear anything new from these leaders who are so far apart from the average American, the average gun owner, frankly, the average NRA member, who all support sensible policies that could protect us from tragedies like the ones that we see every single day in this country. So I hope to hear something new, but I am not going to be holding my breath, because for too long we've been hearing the same statements, the same empty promises.
Yeah,
and frankly, we deserve better.
There is this sense of, we've all sort of seen this movie before, and you have this violence and senselessness and gut-wrenching results, and yet nothing happens afterwards. So given that as a context, and as you say, no expectation for any change in tone out of the NRA, what does Brady sort of plan to do in light of this most recent shooting? How do you expect to do anything to get any sort of different result in terms of this common sense gun laws that you're talking about?
I think it's the question of the moment. And frankly, it's the question we've been working to answer since the last time we were here having this conversation, right? When we were looking at the faces of 20 elementary school students who were slaughtered in Newtown, Connecticut, and the 6 educators that bravely laid their lives down to protect their students. I will push back on one point. I think that there has been incredible progress in the time from then to where we are now. And I think a huge part of that has been because the American people, regardless of which political affiliation they have, or if they're a gun owner or not a gun owner, have been coming together in states across this country to fundamentally shift the way that we talk about gun policy in this country. It really is a small minority of extremist leaders, particularly in the U.S. Senate, that are utilizing tools like the procedural filibuster that's leaving us exposed to violence like this. So I think that the difference here is that we are better prepared, we have more momentum, and eventually we're going to be able to to get to where we need to be, but it's only if we demand more of our elected officials and break through those federal barriers that we have. So we have to keep getting wins in the states.
Christian Heyne, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.